Let us start with the very basic of what is DBMS. DBMS, that is Database Management System. So there was few scientists late in 1960s, few scientists from IBM Corporation. So they developed a system, that is your database management system, that is used to store a data. So what is data now? Data can be a collection of the facts and figures. And as the data keeps on increasing day by day, like every day the data keeps on increasing. So this was not so efficient. So they have, again, like after 10 years, maybe 1970s, there was one scientist in the same company, then he has introduced RDBMS. So now what was RDBMS? Like instead of having one single table, he has broke down this table into multiple tables like this. Then he has created a relationship between these two tables. Then he named them as a relational database management system. So he was none other than, his name was EF Cord. So he was the mastermind, or he is the person behind developing RDBMS. Now all our database management systems will have a support for this RDBMS. Now let us understand with a simple example like what is RDBMS using an Excel sheet here. So let us take an example. Suppose you have an ID column. Suppose I have an institute. In my institute, I am like having a data of all the students, those who are coming for the inquiry and those who are coming for the like those who have registered for my course. So let me take ID column, students ID. Then I'll take the student's name, then last name, and on which course he has registered. So course ID. Then I'll see what is his course name, and I'll talk about the course duration also, duration, and I'll see about course fees. I can take like hundreds of columns, I can expand hundreds of columns. Then I'll talk about, like I'll take a detail about the date, then I'll take a detail about the month, I'll take a detail about the day, and I'll take the detail about the financial year, fiscal year, which fiscal year it was, and let me add month, day, fiscal year, and your normal year also from year, and day name, month name. I can take n number of things. I can take quarter, which quarter it is, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. I can take their students email address, students phone number. I can add hundreds of fields there. Okay, so now let me take add few of the columns. So suppose I'll take ID1, and the name is suppose Sachin, and suppose Tendulkar, and he may register for course ID 100, and course ID 100 is maybe SQL. Is not going to register, but just I have taken the name. So it is for 1 month duration, and the course fees is, for example, 30,000, just an example. And today's date is 5/12/2022, and the year is 22, and the month is 12, the day is 05, fiscal year is 2022 comma 2023, and the quarter is quarter 3. Okay, now I can have, like there are 100 folks those who are coming in and having an inquiry. Okay, 100 folks. So just imagine ID1, ID2, ID3, and so on. Okay, ID3 and so on. And let me take an example here. 100 folks are here with different names. They can be different names, and they might register for 100, 101, 100, 101, 101, 100, 101. So 100 is my course name is SQL, and 101 is, for example, Python. Okay, 101 is Python. I'll write Python here. Wherever you have 101, 101, wherever you have a SQL, I'll write 100 here, 100 here. Now, duration for SQL is 1 and for Python it is 2. Now, wherever you have Python, you will write Python here, Python, 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 and for all you have 1. And the course fees for Python is suppose 40,000 rupees. Okay, so let me copy this and paste it here, paste it here, paste it here. Okay, and here you have 30,000, 30,000, 30,000. So here we are having only 10 records, but just imagine if there are 1,000 or 10,000 records. So just imagine 10,000 records will contain so many duplicate values. So I have only 2 records, like I have only 2 courses, one is Python and one is SQL. In future, if I may add only one course. That course might be 102 and it might be data engineering. The course duration might be 3 years and the fees might be 50,000. But again, if there are 50,000 students coming in, so you can see the duplicacy, how many repeated values will be there. So this was the scenario of DBMS, that is database management. Like this is how the data was stored. When it comes to date, okay, let us talk about date. So suppose, let us imagine like 100 folks came on the same day. So same day means these all will be repeated, these all will be repeated. Suppose tomorrow, that is on 6th of December, there are few hundred folks coming in, for example. So this will change, this will not change. Just a second. Yeah, this 2 will not change, this will change to 6, this 2 will again not change. So again, suppose tomorrow there are 200 students coming in, so this 200 times will be repeated. So there are so many repeated values, you can see this, there are so many repeated values. Instead of this, if I talk about relational database management system, that is, if I arrange this table in the relational database, so see what happens now. I'll just copy this, I'll call this as our normal DBMS. Then if I call this as now RDBMS, okay, if I paste it here, now instead of having so many repeated values, what I'll do, I'll start splitting this whole large amount of table into smaller tables. So now I'll call this as a dim course table. So what do you mean by course table? So this course table will have all the details about the course. So I'll just copy these all, like only these columns, copy this and I'll paste it here. Now, what do you mean by course ID 100? Hey, course ID 100 means SQL. The duration is 1 and the fees is 30,000 rupees. I can write it here. And what do you mean by 101? So it is Python. It is course duration is 2 months and the fees is this much. And if I talk about 203, it is only this one. So instead of writing this all 10,000 times, I can delete this all now. Delete. So now if you ask me like, hey, can you tell me this 7th ID student is registered for which course? Hey, he has registered for 100. So what is 100? I don't know. Okay, come to the course table. 100 is nothing but your SQL course. The duration is for 1 month and the course fee is 30,000. You can add n number of things here. You will get only one row. Instead of having thousands of rows, it has reduced to one row. Now I will create a relationship between this dim course to the like RDBMS table with the course ID table. So this course ID and this course ID is one and the same. I'll create a relationship. Now what is relationship, how to create, we are going to talk all about that in our upcoming sessions. Now let me create one more table and I call this as a dim date table. Okay, this will be my date table. So what does the date table contains? So it will have all this here, copy this and paste it here. And if you have only two records, that is on the 5th of December and second is on the 6th of December, this is repeating, nothing else, no value is repeating, there is no other date also. If there is other date, you will get only one row out of this. Now you can easily remove all these columns, and you can reduce your data. So this was like these many columns were there, like 13 columns were there. Now the column size has been reduced only to 6 or 7 columns. So this is how you can split your table into smaller multiples, and you can relate, or we can create a relationship between these two and these two, that is called as a relational database management system. So this is about RDBMS. So we create a relationship between the tables. Relationship. Okay. So what are the types of relationship? We are going to see that in the coming sessions. Thank you for watching this video, guys. If you like it, please subscribe. Keep learning.